record button. And for the editor, your name is,
Sean Van Sommeran.
and spell it, please.
First name Sean, Sean, and the last name is Van Sommeran, spelled Van. There's a space, no hyphen. S capitalized, Ommeran. I'm just getting the camera stable.
Yeah, that's okay, Sean. All right, so just a couple of questions. One of which is, so there is this attack. People say there was an attack. They saw the attack take place. 3 people went in, only 2 came out. 1 has not come out, nor has there been a discovery of any body or anything like that. First of all, does that sound like something that is something that could happen conceivably, no matter how rare?
Yes, it's definitely a possibility. These things have happened in the past. They are statistically rare compared with the number of people falling off the cliffs, accidental drowning, surfing accidents, rogue waves, all that stuff. The ocean is not the place to go to be careless ever. You should always consider that, come to terms with the risk versus reward. Stinson Beach, there's sharks there all the time. Fishermen see them, surfers see them not far from there. It's really tragic. I'd be a little more, not skeptical, but these have witnesses, 2 witnesses that knew the missing person. The report of the blood in the water. It's not something that could easily be, confused for anything else.
Right. Having said that, uh, so far they haven't found anything in the water. Now they're searching the land apparently for body parts. Is that something that makes sense to you, in the sense that the body may never be recovered?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the investigation. It's more of a recovery at this point, with that period of time having lapsed. It's unlikely that the person is uh, doing well. So yeah, they want to, of course, always try to recover the missing person, bring closure to it, figure out what happened, and learn from that experience. And it's just one of those things.
Talk about the shark as a creature. It is a predator. We know that. It doesn't, it goes after targets that it thinks are food, I think, primarily. Just tell us a little bit about these animals and why they are not necessarily these vicious attack monsters, because we would see a lot more attacks, I would presume, if they were truly predators, in the sense that they were looking for anything possible to eat, because along beaches there are plenty of things to eat called people.
Yeah, context is important. There's sharks and then there are sharks. We're in California, Central California, which has been famous for large, white sharks since the days of whaling. There's nothing really new about that. I think it's underappreciated that, we have 23, 24 species of sharks along the coast of California. And the only one that's really particularly dangerous, possibly dangerous, would be the white shark. It's a large macro apex predator that feeds on other predators, marine mammals, other fish, small sharks. So they are a possible, danger, as are mountain lions, grizzly bears, etc. A lot of wildlife has been diminished, and people kind of lost the feel for that, as well as again, walking along the cliffs, when there's big swells, people get washed in. So sharks need to be kept in perspective. It's definitely something, you should never be careless going into the ocean. The shark doesn't need to try to eat you to do serious injury. And it's rare, statistics, it's typically the last thing a mariner, surfer, diver has to worry about. There are all other kinds of threats out there. But when the bell strikes and there's sharks injuring somebody, it's going to catch everyone's attention, just because predator injuries are so rare compared to other types of hazards humans face out here. So yeah, you need to come to terms. Sounds silly, right? If you're going to go swimming where the sharks are known to be, at least consider that as a possibility. Prepare for it. For people going surfing, especially remote, isolated areas, you need to have a plan, let people know where you're going. leave a note, something, voicemail. If you're going to go alone, it's always best to go with a buddy, and take it seriously. Many more people are injured through bonking their heads on rocks and hitting their surfboard, or swimming and getting tired or hypothermic. There's all kinds of risks out there people need to take seriously. Not that these people are being careless, it's just real unfortunate. um and I don't know much else other than that. I haven't been updated in an hour and a half, so I don't know if they've found anything in the meantime. But I always do encourage people to surf with a buddy, prepare for emergencies. Have a first aid kit in your vehicle,
Let
bring
me
it in
ask
your
you,
backpack.
yeah, let me ask you one more question, which is maybe the key question, and that is this. There's shark attacks, and then there are fatal shark attacks. Isn't it a fact that there are shark attacks, which, even though they are small in number, far outnumber fatal shark attacks?
Yes, again, that's important context. When I lecture, I often ask people, what marine creature hospitalizes more people every year off the coast of California than all others combined? And you get people think of jellyfish or something like this. It's a stingray. Stingrays injure and hospitalize people. Some weekends in Southern California, more than 50 will go to the emergency room or have to be tended to first aid by the lifeguards. And it just doesn't attract a lot of attention. People don't get killed typically by stingrays, but complicated injuries. Stingers break off in the foot. There's all kinds of bones in there, and it doesn't really get much press or signage. Beach closures, etc. But that is a risk that doesn't draw much attention or curiosity. I've always been kind of puzzled by that. A shark attack, and we used to have grizzly bears in California, a mountain lion attack, anything like that, any wildlife interactions, especially involving an injury or a fatality, is going to draw a lot of attention, and for a good reason. The people using the coast are increasing. The number of people using the coast, the number of people taking up surfing, kayaking, small boating, cliff exploration. People want to go outside. It's awesome. It's in your nature
Right.
to want to do that, but you got to be careful. And we all need to understand that these behaviors come with risks, and that's what keeps the lifeguards, the fire departments, and everything else,
But
rangers, park rangers,
sure, but
busy.
comment on the fact that there is a difference both in terms of rarity, uh, between an attack where somebody gets bitten or somebody gets harmed, loses some flesh, or gets razored up a little bit, as opposed to actual deaths by shark attack. I assume that is a very rare kind of thing.
Yes, I guess we're fortunate. The white sharks, which eat pinnipeds and animals larger than humans, aren't as aggressive as they might be. Certainly, with the number of people in and out of the water, with those sharks, ranging from Southern California up to Northern California, they're in close proximity all the time. Shark attacks would be happening on a daily basis if the sharks were uh, inclined to consume. So typically, even when they do bite someone, which is horrendous, injurious, they don't typically come back for a second pass. It's usually I wouldn't call it exploratory. There's different reasons why they bite, uh, but they don't have to be trying to eat you or consume you in order to bite you. They will maybe try to get you out of the way, or simply explore what you are. And there's these swimmers. What is that? That looks like a seal. I'm just making this up, but the sharks will come up and explore. They handle things with their mouth and their teeth. They don't have to exert much to cause injury to anything they put those teeth onto. And so, yeah, it's scary to think about. Fatalities are very rare, and injuries also rare, but it is something that we people that are in the water on any regular basis have to think about and consider. Again, typically it's the last thing a mariner, a surfer, fisherman needs to worry about, uh, but it can't be forgotten or ignored when a big shark appears at your kayak as you're reeling in a fish. uh, you know caution is advised with that, and that's definitely a possibility. Same applies for getting too close to whales deliberately or anything like that. You know, the sharks are out there. Typically, you don't see them. But when you do, that's actually good news. The one that gets you, they say, is the one that you don't see coming. So always stay alert, be prepared, you know, for any contingency that might occur while you're in the ocean, which is a wild place. It's not your natural element, and caution is absolutely advised.
All right. Well, I really appreciate this. We'll get this on tonight. We're going out there, but I wanted to make sure I talked to you because I think it's important that people get the proper perspective. And so thank you so very much.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Bye-bye.